All right, everybody, welcome on into this week's Form Friday, where today we're going to be going over a 10-minute warm-up that you can do that's going to reduce joint stiffness and pain. And this is something that I would want you to do, and I would encourage you to do every single day. To full disclosure, I do this at least 3 to 4 times a week in the morning, and it helps me tremendously. As somebody who has suffered from I've had 4 different ACL tears. My right one never even got repaired on the last one. 4 different ACL tears, one on the left, three on the right. But I've still been able to run 2 marathons. I've still been able to keep up with my fitness program. I've led hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of fitness classes where I've actually led the class myself. We've done close to 150 Saturday classes up to this point where I've not led the class, but I know what it means to have a lot of wear and tear in your body and how important it is. I mean, I try to get massages when I can to help just recover my body. But this piece, doing this consistently, is so essential because it's going to allow your body to get that full range of motion and move kind of the way it's supposed to. Because after we work out and after we go through life and we experience injuries, it does become a little bit more challenging. So this is something that I recommend that you do every single morning. And we're going to go through the main joints that people struggle with. I got my cheat sheet here on the window: the back, the hips, the knees, and the shoulders. All right. So again, I know everyone's very busy, so we're gonna make this 10 minutes, all right? And I got my timer here. Now, just the cheat sheet, if you're doing both sides, that means you're gonna do 30 seconds on each side, okay? I would definitely encourage you to save this and use it down the road, all right? So first things first, we're gonna start with our back. Now, there's two options. I'm gonna choose option 2 because of my knees, and some of you guys might have a similar situation. You can start here in the child pose, all right? To get that back stretch out with the knees out wide. The feet are going to be together, right? We're going to sit back here. Now for this is uncomfortable for me because of all my knee injuries, right? But, I mean, I can do it, but the reality is not everybody's able to get in that position. So instead of that, all right, you can do that if you would like. I'm going to start here to stretch out my back, all right? The knees are out wide because what this is going to do is allow us to stretch out the groin, and it's going to allow us to stretch out the hamstrings when we go to stretch out our back. So the first things first, same thing. Hit that start button, and here we go, right into it. Now, as you guys see, I'm reaching out here, and I'm allowing my back to just curl over. Now, I know not everybody can get in this position, and that's okay. Just go as far as you can, and if you need to, you can just get a chair, and you can sit down and do this right here. So you're gonna crawl your fingers forward, let the head relax. We have about 10 seconds left. We're gonna crawl our hands to the left. Now, your knees are gonna wanna pop up off the ground, but the back of your knee is flat here. All right, we're gonna keep it flat right there. Now, if you can't keep it flat, it's okay, just do what you can. Your hands to the left side. And you're gonna feel this, like I said, in the hamstrings. Now, this is not our hamstring stretch. We are gonna get to that in a moment. But this is gonna be a great way to kind of get those guys warmed up as those get very tight. Now we're gonna walk our hands to the right side here. Same thing, okay? Now, you're going to feel maybe a little bit more tightness on the left side of your back, on the right side of your back, etc. Now, notice I'm not putting my hands on top of the toes. You can do that if you would like. I'm keeping my hands within the legs here, all right? That way I'm not yanking myself over, all right? You can do that if you want to. If that's more comfortable for you, go for it. I like to stay within here, within those legs. So hold that spot. And very good. And now we're gonna get a little bit more rotation in the back and dive into the glutes. So now I'm laying on my left side. I got my right knee up towards my chest, and I'm pulling that knee down towards the ground. Now the key thing is with this one, guys, I'm gonna take my gaze and I'm gonna look the opposite direction of where my knee is at. The knee that's on top, I'm looking the opposite direction and I'm kind of pulling down on that knee. Now at the same time, you don't want to feel any popping, any cracking, any readjustment of your back. We are not trying to play chiropractor here. We're just trying to get a nice pull in that lower back and in that glute area of the top leg. Great. Now we're going to switch sides for about 30 seconds. Now again, I mentioned 30 seconds. Same thing, knee over the top, and we're going to look the opposite direction. You might, again, feel one side is tighter than the other. All right? If you feel that, then what you want to do is just make sure that you are addressing that. So maybe you hold one side stretch longer than the other. Again, the goal is to hold 30 seconds, but if you can do more than that, we'll do more. I definitely empathize with the fact that, we got to get to work, we've got to take the kids to school, we got to get a workout in. But this is something you can do not just in the morning, but also midday before you go to sleep. And I guarantee if you do this every single day, just in the morning, you're going to feel so much better throughout your day. And good, everybody. Now we're going to go right into the quad stretch. So I'm going to face you guys since there's a rule, never turn away from the camera when you're coaching or doing a presentation. So I'm going to look at you guys, but I would have just gone right into the quad stretch. Now you guys can do this in a standing position too. But the thing is when I do my stretch routines and when I'm coaching people to do stretch routines, we want to save the most amount of time possible. So understanding your time is precious. So what we want to do is just trying to transition and like cut down as much transition time as possible in order to be able to do the most important thing. And that's not move between the stretches, that's do the stretches, right? Now, an advanced kind of move here is you can bring that bottom leg up a little bit to balance a little bit. See how I'm bringing my knee forward, the bottom one? And then I allow that back leg to come further back here, which is basically going to get a deeper stretch in those quads. And it's going to give those hamstrings, or not the hamstrings, I'm sorry, the hip flexors. But we'll start with an H, the hip flexion in the front of the hip. All right, good. Now we're going to switch sides. You can just roll over, but again, I'm going to face you guys. Okay, again, we start here with the knees on top. The knees are stacked on top of each other. Then I want to slide my bottom leg. You don't have to, but this is, like I said, this is going to get more of that hip flexor, which you guys should probably use. If not, you can stay right here. Stack the knees and just stretch the quad. If not, if you don't feel that enough, let that bottom leg come forward to kind of give you a wider center of gravity, base support there. And then you let that back leg fall back a little bit, right? That hip flexor is going to drop down. And you might even get into some of that IT band too, because you're pulling that guy back there. Very nice. Big hold, big hold, big hold. And good. Now I mentioned we're going to get into the hamstrings, all right? That earlier, that was not a hamstring stretch. So I'm going to get a chair here because not everybody can do this stretch, okay? This is how I like to do it. This is my favorite stretch to do. You can do it anywhere, anytime. I bust it out in the middle of the conversation, okay? But we'll get right into it so I'm not wasting more time. A lot of people struggle to get this concept, so I really want to explain this completely. I'm going to show you guys from the angle. This back leg here is bent. All of the weight is on that back leg. My front knee is straight. The stretch is right here in this area, the back of the hamstring. But notice when I do the stretch, my back is straight. Like that back is really straight. Now, if I go here, like most people do when they're doing their hamstring stretch, just to touch the toe, guess what? I'm taking all that tension out of this upper hip area. That upper hamstring is not getting stretched. And then you can put your hand on top of that, like not on the knee, but just above the knee. You get a little pressure at the end of that quad. Oh man, that feels great. Back is straight, really press down and hold that spot. And then we're going to switch legs. Other knee is straight right here. Now I'm going to show you guys from the chair, same thing. You guys can do the same thing from the chair here if you can't get down there. Just make sure this chair is stable. Keep your chest straight and lean forward. Okay, I don't like that as much because I can't feel as much of a deep stretch, but you can. Okay, you can. If you can't stand up and do it, that's fine. All right, hold that spot 30 seconds. Again, you can do it from standing or seating. Perfect and good. Tremendous. We got 6 minutes in here, guys. I know I did a little bit of talking as well. Now we're going to do our shoulder stretch, and the most important shoulder stretch that anybody can do, okay, especially in this day and age. We're working, we're on our phones, we're hunched over, is open up that pocket. So I got my free beach workout, our original sign right here. So I'm gonna put my hand on this wall here. If you have a doorway, this is the doorway stretch. You put one hand, one forearm on one side of the doorway, one forearm on the other, and I just lean in like this. Boom. And I'm opening that chest. Now for us here, what I want to do is raise that arm up a little bit higher than shoulder height, right? So I'm not here at that 90-degree angle. I got my arm up here a little bit, like I'm reaching that top shelf, and I just rotate forward, and man, you open up that chest tremendously. And you feel a nice pull in here. A nice pull in here. Boy, that really opens the chest. You want to kind of sit your chest up and like lift your chest as your arm is just stabilized on that wall. And then you're kind of coming forward. I'm kind of coming forward, but also coming down like so. Then you switch, other side, same thing. Again, if you have a doorway, it's easier. You can do both at the same time. And you lean in. Again, it's a rotation. It's a rotation, but it's also like you're rotating away from the wall. At the same time, you're kind of going into the wall, right? So you want to have this kind of stretch going on there, right? that all right here in the front of the chest. Tremendous. Oh my goodness. Wow, great. Now, if you have a doorway, last stretch we're going to do, and then we're going to get into the dynamic part. You're going to grab that doorway here at the edge, and then you're going to hug that arm. A lot of people just hug here, and this is great. This is going to work. We don't have a doorway. But if you have that doorway, I'm going to grab this here, stabilize the hand there. I'm going to rotate away just a little bit here. And you can really get that stretch. You want to feel that all right here in the shoulder and the back of the shoulder blade as well. And a pro tip, if you look down into the arm, just like I'm doing here, that's going to give you some of that trap stretch as well up in here. Big hug, boom. And we switch sides. Same thing, we hold it, we pull, and I'm going to look into it and down, and that's going to get some of that mid back in there. And you can kind of rotate your body away from the wall. Nice pull, nice stretch. Oh, we'll call that 30. All right, guys, we have about a minute left here. We're gonna go for 2 though. All right, so now we warmed up everything. Okay, we're gonna either go to the hands and knees or we're gonna do it right here. We're gonna start off, guys, hip circles. All right, I'll show you guys what it looks like in the standing position. You're just gonna come around here. It looks kind of funny, but you're gonna go around and feel that big stretch. I mean, like when you come back here, you can feel that back loosening up even more, and you come all the way around 10 times each direction. Now, if you want to do it on the ground, you can do it here, hands and knees. The hips come down. Here we go. Pushing back, forward, back, forward, like this, 10 times each direction. I'm going to switch now, instead of several reps from the top. I switch directions. And again, if you want to stay standing, you can stay standing. Highly recommend putting a pillow underneath your knees when you're doing these. Loosen up those hips even more. Big circles. And guess what? We're also getting rotation in the shoulders too. So you're loosening up everything. Everything we just stretched out is getting loosened up. Now we come here, hands and knees, cat cow. You guys know how to do this one. Round the back, tuck the chin. Lift the chin, lower the belly. Tuck the chin, raise the back. Lift the chin, you in the back, and switch. 10 of these guys. Hold each position. Very good. Very good. And last but not least, hands down here. Make a T with your arms. You can keep the knees bent and have the feet up like this. Or you can have the feet down like this. You're just going to rotate, getting that lower back and those hips, getting that blood flow in there. And guess what? Every time you rotate, you're getting a little pull in that chest too, on the opposite side. This one, I like to do 20, so we do 10 on each side. I lost count, guys. We're still going. Just like so. And then we finish up here with 1 minute of deep breathing on our backs. Okay? I'm gonna set the timer. We're gonna go. Lay knees straight, hands on the belly, and you're gonna get a big diaphragmatic breath, meaning you're gonna breathe in through the nose with your hands in your belly. You're gonna feel your belly are gonna lift your hands, right? Breathing through the nose. Ready? 1 minute, and let's do it. And that is it. Very relaxed, very nice, everybody. Bring the knees up slowly. I like to grab the knees, you gotta roll up. However you like to get up is fine with me. Great warm up. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your sleep. Whenever you're watching this, I hope this is beneficial for you. Wish you all the best. Take care.